Morning. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you up till 2 o'clock here today on this little program as...
You want me to tell you what old Dum Dum did this morning?
Which one of
Me.
who is... Oh, you're Dum Dum.
Oh, I was like, what did I do?
I was like,
So,
I immediately did go to Frog.
I got an email.
Insult you.
I got an email saying, service on March 14th, at 8:30.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So I go over to the dealership, right? I tell them, here's what I got. Oh, they must have set the appointment for the recall. All that stuff, right?
Bro, is somebody knocking on your house?
It's the roofers. He's literally right over me.
Yeah, this is the first time.
I was like,
this is the first time. They've been doing it.
Like, is this a bit?
Dude,
like, what's going on here?
No.
You're silly,
Dude, lucky I wasn't here yesterday. The light fixtures were shaking.
Oh.
I'm like, what are they doing?
That's not going to be annoying at all.
Anyway, I take my car in. I tell Mima to pick me up, right? Now, first of all, Mima goes to the wrong dealership. Don't ask me why. She's at the Ford dealership. Nobody in the house owns a Ford, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a whole nother story. So I go there, and I can't be too mad at her because I go in, I pull up the email, and right before I show the guy the confirmation number, I realize that is for an old car at the Hyundai dealership.
Oh. Huh?
Yes. For some reason, they sent me a confirmation for a car I had 3 years ago. So it worked out, but it was a little more.
There you go. This is going to be interesting because you have that guy he's hammering away there today.
Yeah, I also heard like some weird.
Did you hear that too? In the
so it was going in between. It's like a saw or something.
Okay, because I came in here today too, and I was like, "Hey, there's like sounds happening here in the studio, and it sounds like one of the computers is like, it kind of sounds like the Price is White. The Price is White. The Price is Right."
Whoa! What are you doing?
The Price is Right. It sounds like the showcase wheel. It's like.
Oh, I expect that there. But here, I warned you guys. Like, I couldn't believe you didn't hear it on Monday.
I didn't hear it on Monday, but like that guy's definitely like he sounds like he's at your door. He doesn't sound like he's on your roof.
We're almost at the end of the, like all the paper is down. They put the border for the gutters, right? I figured all the heavy hammering was done. Now they putting the paper, the paper they put over the black paper. So now they're doing that. So I guess more nails.
All right.
But I don't think it's supposed to be that loud, but yeah, you can hear it today. You couldn't hear it the other days.
Nah, couldn't hear it at all.
And it was louder the other days.
All right, let's get to our headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
Back to black truck. We know trucks.
All right, so the Miami Heat, they lose to the Denver Nuggets 100-88.
88 stinking points.
88 stinking points.
And here's the thing that is disappointing for me. You hold the team like that to 101 points, right? That usually signifies Heat win, right?
Oh, yeah.
You hold the team to 101 points.
I mean, it was basically a replica of the finals. That's what they basically did to Denver a lot in the finals, and they just can't score against them.
But you think they're just so exhausted on the other end because a lot of shots came up short. A lot of them just, guys missing shots they normally make.
I really thought, honestly, Leroy, I said this. I was sitting next to our boys from Locked On. I thought that the Miami Heat played that first quarter tight. I didn't think it was a defense thing. I thought they came in that with clenched cheeks because they had looks, and then there were just some dumb turnovers by Duncan Robinson. Hey, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope doesn't play for your team. I don't know what you like. You were running the ball. You were like running dribble handoffs for KCP. I don't know what that was, but I certainly for Bam, I think that would be because again, just nobody does as good a job against Joker as Bam Adebayo did. He
You're
did
asking him to do
unbelievable.
you're asking him to do a whole lot on the defensive end.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like one of those things where, you know, your teammates have to pick up the slack on the other end, right? Like you have to understand what you're asking him to do. And I just don't know that anybody's in any kind of a groove to provide any consistent scoring for the Heat. Nobody.
Yeah. And Bam Adebayo makes a good point. He says we only have 3 people on the team that can shoot. 2 of them are hurt. They don't have any shooters. They could not shoot for for anything yesterday.
Right.
They nailed 5 from downtown. They only took 23s, which on average the Heat shoot 33 attempts from downtown a game. And they basically had some last minute chucks. So they were under 20 for most of that game, which is pretty crazy.
Which is weird.
And one of the threes, by the way, was made by Bam. So just to tell you what a rough day at the office was for the shooting yesterday for the Miami Heat. And it's look,
it's a trend. It's starting to become a trend.
Well, yeah, it's a trend. But here's the thing that's just most frustrating for me. It's just an odd feeling to have a team like that own you, because the Miami Heat are not used to that. Most of the teams in this league, the Miami Heat have had success or had recent playoff success, or, you know, just they can tap into something like, oh, why wouldn't you be confident against ball? It's like, it's what carries their essence, basically, is like, why am I scared of any team in these? And I get that arrogance because, okay, you've beaten Boston, you've beaten Tatum and Brown, you've beaten the Bucks, but this mother bleeping Nuggets team, I mean, not the regular season, not the finals. You cannot beat this Nuggets team. It doesn't. Every game is the same.
I think it's the size. It's the pressure they put on you on the defensive end, right? It's almost like they defend you on their offensive side of the ball because they just exhaust the hell out of you. And you can just see it. They're playing hard, right? And they all look exhausted when they get to the offensive end.
Well, it was a rough one to watch. And then honestly, Jimmy, I mean, dude, you know.
Yeah, hey, we're going to go to you.
I got to ask you something, Jimmy. All right. And I hate to do this because, you know, listen, nobody loves Jim VP more than me.
Well, you ain't Jim VP right now.
But knocking is hilarious. That's the guy. Hey, when are you gonna wake up, Jimmy? Hey,
that's great. I love this.
But here's the thing, dude. Jimmy, is it time or is it not time? Because I'm pretty sure on Instagram you put a week ago, it's that time. So that time or not that time? Because I'm waiting for it to be that time. I thought you said it was that time, but over these last 4 games, train's been late, and Jim VP's train's never late. And especially this Nuggets team, they do a better job against him. But even last night, I thought he had looks, and I just thought that, you know, the shot just wasn't there, the touch wasn't there. I guess to be fair, like there were some, you know, Jimmy gets a lot of those relief outlet passes from Kevin Love, and I mean, there was like 6 passes to him that were just overthrown and his teammates not being able to find him. A lot of them from Patty Mills, who those guys haven't played a lot together. But on the ones that he had, he still couldn't nail. And I'm trying to wonder, like, when Bam is doing that kind of a job on the end, and Bam really was the catalyst in the third quarter to get you the lead back. He played awesome in that third quarter.
Right.
You got to have a closer. Jimmy plays the entire
fourth quarter was, they just look exhausted. Everybody. So I don't know. Is it something that just having more bodies is going to fix? Is it something having more size is going to fix? I'm just talking about for this game in particular, because you don't deal with this a lot, right? You don't deal with this. The only other team that is even close to that is Milwaukee, and you've beat Milwaukee.
Right.
Because they don't have the shooting. And I don't know what that's going to look like with Dame.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what the answer. Huh?
This Michael Malone.
Oh, you sent a flyer last night, and I'm like,
What do you mean? I sent a flyer last night?
Because listen, Marcos, know the night is not gonna end.
I didn't sleep last night
without Tobin doing one or two things.
Yeah,
going after somebody on the other side that just beat you, or going after a ref. It's not gonna end. The night's not gonna end until you do that. And here it came. This old Mike Malone. I'm like, okay, we can go to sleep now.
Well, it's just. Look, I don't know what his deal is. I can't decide whether I like him or hate him, but I think I hate him.
Good coach.
He's a good coach, but I think, you know what I think it is? I think Michael Malone's a little jelly belly because Spo gets a lot more flowers nationally than he does all of a sudden, which Michael Malone, like, welcome to Spo's life, dude. That's what it was for for the first few years of his career. Like, nobody thought he was a good coach. Nobody recognized the greatness of this guy. So, you know, for 3 seconds, you haven't gotten your flowers, and all of a sudden you want to take pot shots at the Miami Heat. But then there's a part of me who's like, I can't be a whiny baby because this team has our number. You know, so I'm very torn on how I want to feel. Well, mostly I just want to be
too
like,
too late.
This guy was
taking a whiny baby on us.
This guy was taking pot shots, Leroy.
What did he say? What did he say?
So you have this, Marcos? You have this Michael Malone after the game?
Did you send it to my personal email?
Oh my God, bro! Can you grow up and log into your work email? Can you honestly, like, you're an adult. Like, you don't have your work email working.
What about Leroy? Leroy never uses his work email.
I don't email sound bites to Leroy. He's not the producer.
Okay, but then he needs to be an adult too.
I use it every day. What are you talking about?
You don't even know your password.
Not there is different.
That doesn't make sense, Leroy.
I know it doesn't, but I can log into my laptop sometimes.
You know, I'm gonna go have you have a talk with Sid Rosenberg after this. All right, Sid. That's who I first intern/produced for. Sid's in the building today, by the way.
Is he
really?
Yeah, I guess he's doing a show from one of our studios.
Nice. You want to invite roofers to his show by any chance?
My good friend Roofer. Who went to school with? Was it? Did you go to school with his sister?
I went to school with his sister.
You went to school with his sister. That's right. Yeah. All right, it's in our folder there, Frog Boy. We'll get that for you. We'll get this salty. Can we
listen? Listen. This is not very becoming of you.
It's not very becoming. I acknowledge
but here's the deal. You won't stop.
No.
Even though you know it makes you look bad.
No, I don't care.
And it makes you look like a whiny baby. You don't care.
I don't like the fact that Jokic is carrying Bam around in a baby Bjorn. I don't like the fact that Aaron Gordon pushes Jimmy around in a stroller. I don't like it. I'm sick of it. I'm not liking that Michael Malone is putting Eric Spoelstra in a high chair and saying, "Here comes the airplane." I don't like it. Because I'm not used to this. I'm not used to a team just dominating the Heat. And like, okay, there was a run where like the Kings had the Heat's number in the regular season, but now you also on top of it, this dude has a championship ring with your logo embroidered on it. It's annoying. And now he's taking little digs at your franchise, because he likes to act like he said this yesterday because I was asking him about Bam and the job because, Joker and Bam have a lot of respect for each other. And he goes, and by the way, so he gives a lot of flowers to Bam and he says some nice things about Bam. And then he goes, by the way, we have a lot of respect for the Heat organization from the top down, from Spo down. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of nice. And then I hear digs in the post. This guy can't, you know what? Win with some class, Michael Malone. All right. With some grace. All right. That's what a true championship organization does. You win, you take your victory, and you move on. You don't rub people's noses in it. It was just, you know what? It put him down a couple notches because Spo would never. Spo would never. Maybe Pat Riley, but Spo would never.
Everybody knows that Reggie's been struggling to make shots, never for a lack of effort. The guy's in the gym all the time. And the funny thing is I had Jamal Murray and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope at the scorer's table during that stretch. And this speaks a lot about our group. Both those guys said to me, Coach, let Reggie ride. Let CB ride. This group is playing well. And, part of our culture, because we do have a culture in Denver as well, part of our culture is being selfless, getting over yourself. And I think that, that's another example of how our team is always getting over the individual, thinking about the collective.
So wait, you say that's a knock on the Heat?
Oh, you don't think it's a knock on the Heat? You don't think this arrogant mother bleeper, this carnival barker, this Johnny come lately?
Can I just say
him
something?
Saying, oh,
Can I just say something?
Culture too in Denver.
I can understand why he would say that. He played against a team that has Heat culture on their shirts.
All right. Well, you know something? We've earned that over a time. All right.
I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that. But maybe he said, you know what? We have culture too, because he played a whole game against a team that has Heat culture on the front of their jersey.
Well, let me ask you something, Michael, because he won't call you Mike, because he gets really mad at that. Which, by the way, I was kind of like, should I call him Mike in the press conference?
You definitely call him Mike.
He hates.
I will from now. He hates being called. He's like, I'm Michael. There's a clip. We'll find it for you where he tears down a reporter.
Isn't he the same one that said James?
No, you're thinking of Bruce Brown.
Oh, Bruce Brown. Okay.
Brett Brown.
Brett Brown.
Yeah.
That loser Sixers coach.
Brett Brown.
Yeah. It's a pot shot, dude. Win with some grace. Because if there's something about the old Heat and old Tobes, we don't rub your nose in it. We win with class.
You know what I love? I love how J-Fig is not on the show, but on the show. So she comments on the show from the side.
That's a pot shot, dude. That's a dig. And by the way, I'm going to tell you something right now. That drives Spo mental. He's not happy about this whole Denver thing. Not happy at all. I heard things that were very like unspo-like in the post game yesterday. I'm like, who is this guy?
Wow.
Getting
to him.
I think it is getting to him. He's very competitive. And this Denver team, you said what?
The Giants.
2018 is the last time that you beat them on your court.
They're Giants.
I understand.
Yeah, but whatever.
No, it's not whatever. They're not only good, but they're Giants.
Tell you what wasn't giant was the rim last night.
Yeah, except for Jamal Murray. Every single time we cut it to like 4 or something like that.
Yeah, but you know what the thing that sucks is? Like, all right, lose to Jokic, lose to even Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
But intangibles wonder Christian Brown is gonna go on a 7-0 run by himself, and then Reggie Jackson, who couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat this month.
Yep.
That's who you're gonna let you sink you in the fourth quarter. No, but it doesn't matter. This team owns the Heat right now, and it's killing me. I hate it.
What would you rather?
They're really good, man.
I know they're good. I hate it. It's enough. I'm tired of them being so good.
They got depth.
Oh, depth and size, and they got a giant Serbian who can throw the ball backwards, and
everybody shoots threes. Like, yeah.
And you want to know what the killer was yesterday?
What?
That dude doesn't do a thing all day. That stupid Joker. Bam has him, the clamps on him, and then like after all that exhaustive effort, it's like an 8-point game, and then just a stupid pew, 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 pew. Ball moves around right to Joker. Feathery little hook shot right over Bam. I was like, are you?
I see. I look at that as you hate them, but you're complimenting them by saying,
I know. I don't like this. I normally I don't like my begrudging respect for them. I don't like this. Normally, I like to lash out and say you guys are bums and a bunch of hippies who smoke in the mountains. But I can't because they beat us in the finals last year and we never beat them in the regular season. And I'm not used to this and I don't like it.
Spurs-esque or is the hate deeper?
Different. It's different. Well, no, different. It's different because you know what sucks about here's what sucks about Denver. They just ho-hum it, right? You playing, the Heat are playing their ass off all over the place, hustling, getting rebounds or whatever, and they're just like, who's gonna score this time? And then Christian Braun, is it Braun or Brown?
Brown, which is annoying because it's spelt Braun. Like
Braun, right? And
like,
then all of a sudden you go, who's that? 7 points.
intangibles.
Right. So that's the thing that gets you. And it's like, you want to be mad, but who are you going to be mad at? Nobody does anything. Nobody talks trash. Nobody. So you went after the coach.
Didn't like it.
It's not very becoming of you. Tobes, you're the bad spot
I
right
agree
now.
it's not becoming of me, but you want to know something? Somebody has to be mad about it.
I think
We can't
everybody's
just play the
mad.
respect game all the time.
I think everybody's mad.
Dade South says Tobin will always find something to be mad at.
I know.
I was just mad. I just wanted to. I wanted to get on the. First of all, they're already. First of all, don't lose to the Wizards. Okay, don't lose to the
Wait,
Wizards.
that's over. That's over. We're talking about Denver right now.
That's what the thing is. Where you make a losing streak 4 games is because you lose to the Wizards. Okay,
Here's
and then also this stupid Denver team. We can't figure them out.
Can I ask you a question? Here's what concerns me. What concerns me is you're putting yourself in the same spot that you were last year. And you're just going to make the assumption we did it last year, we can do it again. And that's how your ass ends up home for the first week of the playoffs.
Agreed.
So that's
what
my
happened.
concern.
That's what happened in the year after the finals run of the bubble. They thought they were Bucks, and then they got their ass swept. Bryn Forbes outscored Jimmy Butler.
That's my issue with this.
Which, by the way, Jimmy,
it's time to push the panic button as far as putting that final run in for the end of the season. And I'm not saying they're not, but you got to do something.
Well, listen, Jimmy Butler, you let me know when is it time? Because you told me it's that time.
Well, no, you listen.
You
put yourself in that situation.
No.
You put yourself in this spot.
He bought into
dude, you put yourself in this spot. They won what, 4-3 in a row, right?
They won like 11-3 over 14. It was
11-3, and what did you come in every day with?
I mean, I was saying Jim VP,
right?
But then all of a sudden, like he stopped scoring.
It's called basketball.
I don't like it. And Michael Malone, win with some class.
What? Wait, you have not, dude. You sound so bad right now. You just sound terrible. I understand you're upset, but I tell you who's worse. J-Fig, because she put her finger and took a picture, and her finger was bigger than Jimmy Butler. She was so high up.
Man, yeah, we'll talk about those two mushes coming up next.